Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And there is in Ireland a teacher. He refused to call a child they. The child is a boy who wanted to be called they and was indulged in his mental illness by his parents and by the school. The teacher said it was against his religion, against scripture, and against the ethos of which he firmly believed. Now, what do you think should happen to that teacher? Would he be fired? Well, likely it's going to happen. Would he lose his ability to ever teach again? Again, that's a possibility. But no, what's happened to this teacher is far worse. He is now in jail. Let's look at this article. I love my school, but I am here today because I would not call a boy a girl. A teacher who refused to use a student's gender-neutral pronouns condemns the insanity as he is jailed in Ireland. Enoch Burke was arrested yesterday morning for breaching a court order. The order barred him from teaching or being present at his Westmeath school. The dispute began over his refusal to address a transitioning student as they rather than he, as requested by the mentally ill student and his indulgent parents in May. He was later suspended and refused to stay away from the school. After the ruling, Mr. Burke said, I love my school, and with its motto, res non verba, meaning actions, not words. But I am here today because I said I would not call a boy a girl. And this is where it's got to. Now, of course, he's not been directly jailed because he refused to call a boy a girl, but he's made a stance with his beliefs. His beliefs being he is a teacher, he should teach, he should not indulge the mentally ill, nor these strange people who claim to care for this mentally ill child and call themselves his parents, who are willing to destroy the child's life rather than get professional psychiatric help for what is ultimately a mental illness. Anyway, after Judge Michael Quinn made his ruling, Mr. Burke said, it is insanity that I will be led from this courtroom to a place of incarceration, but I will not give up my Christian beliefs. Counsel for Wilson's Hospital School Board of Management said it was with a heavy heart that it sought Mr. Burke's committal to prison, but she said her client had been left with no choice as Mr. Burke continued to attend the school, despite the court order which it had obtained last week. The dispute began over his refusal to address a transitioning mentally ill student as they rather than he. But the student is singular, cannot possibly be they, which is a plural. And as requested by the mentally ill student and the indulgent parents in May. Now, you, the person, have the right to call yourself whatever you like. I am not taking that right from you. You can call yourself a pot of, a bowl of petunias if you want. I don't care what you call yourself. But you have no control over what I say, or what I think, or my opinions, or my words. Until now. Because now it appears that if you say something that someone doesn't like, it could end up with you going to jail for it. Because somebody says, oh, you're breaking, you're breaking my heart, you're emotionally damaging me. I have rights. This teacher has rights. Is this court saying that this teacher's deeply held spiritual beliefs are less important than a passing fad of a mentally ill child? It'd be an interesting court case to see which is more important, deeply held spiritual religious beliefs or a child's fancy. Now, I can guarantee that if this teacher wasn't a Christian, but was, let's say, a different religion, let's imagine he was, for example, a Muslim, not only would he not be going to jail, but it would never have been raised because the school would have been far too scared, petrified, spineless to say to the teacher, you can't do that, it's wrong, and we don't care about your religion. But the school can feel happy to do that against Christian because they go, Christian, don't matter, does it? But if it was a Muslim, you can guarantee it wouldn't have happened. Anyway, he refused to remain away from the school on paid leave for that suspension, and the court heard he would sit in an empty classroom declaring that he was there to work. Mr. Burke told the judge, I am a teacher and I don't want to go to prison. I want to be in my classroom today. That's where I was this morning when I was arrested. He said he loved his students, to whom he teaches German, history and politics. Well, I think German history, put them together. German history is very apposite at the moment because this just smacks of 1930s Germany. I love my school with its motto, he says, but I am here today because I would not call a boy a girl. He added, transgenderism is against my Christian belief and it is contrary to the scriptures, contrary to the ethos of the Church of Ireland and contrary to the ethos of my school. Referring to his suspension, Mr. Burke said, it's extraordinary and reprehensible that someone's religious beliefs on this matter could ever be taken as grounds for an allegation of misconduct. Yeah, and that's what they're doing now. They are saying we don't care about anyone. No rights are more important except transgender rights. They trump everything. That's what they're saying now. Right to life, not important. Transgender is more important. Right to free association, not allowed. No, transgender is more important. Any right you like, the courts are backing this and saying, no, transgenderism, that 0.05% of the population are more important than the 99.99% of the population that remains. We don't care about anything and everyone can go away. Only transgenderism counts. That's what they're saying by this ruling. You're destroying all other rights for the sake of the mentally ill. And that isn't right. So there he is. I'm not going to go on with that. He is now languishing in jail because he firmly believes that a boy is a boy. Now, the irony is, if he went to that court and said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll call him what he is. Please, can we have a blood test? Can we have a genes test? Can someone sort of look at his DNA and tell me, is he a boy? And if the court agrees that he is biologically a boy, where's the court going with this? Yes, he's biologically a boy, agrees the court, but you must call him a girl. Well, I can call him I'm going to insert a word, an unfriendly word from YouTube, so I won't say it, but you can call him anything you like. But you can't call him a him. Transgender trumps everything. I'm going to come up. It's sad. It's sad that this man's in jail. So there you go. Free speech in Ireland is now dead. And the Catholic Church might as well pack up its bags and bugger off back to Rome. After all, transgenderism is the new religion. And it's not as though it's going to help this boy. He'll sit there, he'll go through a few more years, he'll have his ghoulies cut off, he'll be given a cocktail full of drugs, all sorts of weird things will happen to him. And then he'll hit about, 24, 25, something like that. He'll look down to where his penis used to be and get totally, nostalgic about the time he had one. And then he'll get very depressed. And then his chances of self-ending are massively high because transgenders, and especially boy-to-girl transgenders, have a massively high self-ending rate because ultimately most of them aren't transgender. They have been indulged by their woke parents who are effectively abusing them by indulging them and not getting them psychiatric help. But that's not my business. It's up to them. But what is my business is the joy of free speech and free expression. And that is being taken away from us all the time. And that ultimately is the worst sin of what's happening here. We must stop kowtowing to this vocal but tiny minority of mentally ill people. They're destroying everything and they are nothing. They are nothing. They number in the hundreds, not even the thousands. Anyway, thanks for listening. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notification of future outputs. Leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, use whatever pronouns you want, and goodbye.